started the company 7 months ago. Since that time, we've really sped as fast as possible building the company and understanding AI technology in particular to understand how we can make change in the world. One of the biggest problems in the world today that we are seeing is a lack of people in the workforce. Specifically in the accounting space, there's been a reduction in force over the last several years, and there's more of a demand than ever that has been happening. What Vinay and I and our other co-founder, Analia, have been tackling is how do we actually create something that's scalable for the world that allows there to be less, I would call it mundane work, that allows the accounting workforce that's out there to do their job more effectively. When you think about our company, I ran another startup before this startup, and it was a hugely successful startup. And I saw a lot of the stress that our financial team was under. When you're running a business, you want to understand all of the metrics that are happening in real time. If you ask a question like, what is my burn rate? Or if you want to understand what else is happening in your business, like how many sales have happened just today, generally that comes in like a snapshot once a month from your accountant. Vinay and the engineering team that's under Vinay has been deeply looking into all the AI technology that's out there. And Vinay's going to talk more about this. How do we actually understand all of the data sources of a business and basically create an AI assistant that can help a business run more effectively? And that comes, there's many parts of this. There's taxes, there's sales contracts, there's revenue, there's burn rate, there's all of these other metrics that an AI assistant can help with. And we're really tackling just a specific vertical because it's such a large problem. You have to start in one specific area. From there, I think one interesting thing that we're seeing is there's a lot of different genres also of AI that are coming out. AI voice assistants, there's different AI to allow like people that are lonely and psychological settings. There's AI to help like self-driving cars. So, the industry is just, I would say, like probably budding more than I've ever seen. It's almost like a renaissance that's happening all over the world in like investment happening in the AI space. And, I would say you build on the backs of the greats, meaning like, the larger companies out there are investing billions and billions of dollars into this space. And Vinay and the team are really looking at all of these technologies. An example would be like if you look at AWS. AWS was created by Amazon. And because AWS is there and it runs servers, you don't need to buy your own server now and install it into a server rack and have an air conditioner and have a DevOps guy specifically like looking at every piece of it. Now we're able to abstract the startup at a higher level, and I see a lot of these technologies almost like an AWS where they're investing billions of dollars into understanding like how does it work. But with that, AI doesn't see everything. AI doesn't have all the data. So we're really, tackling that specific problem of gathering that data in as many financial sources as possible to create that AI assistant that helps either accountants or executives or startup leaders around the world. One thing that Vinay kind of glossed over was small business owners generally don't have finance teams. So there's something called FP&A. There's something called a controller. Generally, small businesses usually have an accountant. They have like staff assistants. But the thing is, we're looking to democratize what larger companies have and give that to smaller businesses, allowing them to have like a digital assistant. So, if you watched Facebook's announcement over the last week, they actually announced they have these like AI bots that are available to help you like with recipes and to talk to you and to give you insights like if you're traveling. It's like having a tour guide. It's like having like a personal chef give you advice. We're looking to do that specifically in the finance space. So in a sense, every small business in the world at some point will have AI assistants. And you're going to see companies really relying on these AI bots to run their businesses appropriately. Today it's all people driven. And if you're lucky enough to be successful enough to have those people. And, you're going to say, if you're a small business that I would say is just starting out, you're going to say, I don't need that. But as you get more and more customers, your company becomes more complex. Your inventory gets more complex. Like the cash flow gets more complex. And at some point, you're going to hire an accountant. And then at some point, you may hire a controller. You may hire, people to collect the revenue that you have. So you're going to have all of these people. And the world is really changing. Like a mundane task of collecting revenue, it may go away. Meaning like there's a lot of these, they call you and they say, hey, you didn't pay your bill. We're just following up just as a reminder. Those types of jobs are, they're going to find other opportunities. I don't think those types of jobs those people are going to not find jobs. I think they're going to find other types of jobs that are going to be around that. But the goal is to enable every small business in the United States and the world to have this AI assistant that's really going to assist them just with like their needs. And an example is like, hey, I made a sale. I need to charge the credit card. What do I do? You could literally type that into your AI financial assistant and they will say, no problem, send me the contract. And then you send them the contract and say, hey, this person signed up for 3 years and we're going to be, getting this much revenue from them. You don't need to say any of that. If you sign an agreement with that person, you literally can hand it off to your assistant and they can charge that for you. Transactions are going to happen so much at a faster rate. You're going to see so much more happening in the world. You already see a lot of this, less friction with payments for products, right? So there's Apple Pay and there's Google Pay and there's all these other ways to pay now. I think you're going to see a lot more happen in the world of like these AI bots that are going to basically take over some of the workload of what people do. I mean, in a more successful company, and what I mean by that is like small businesses have like less than 5 million in revenue, but the larger businesses, they have huge staffs and they spend huge amounts of money on these like divisions of teams to actually like collect all this like from all of these customers, all of this revenue. It's burdensome. And having a bot allows the smaller businesses to become more successful than ever before. So, as you're saying to yourself, should I start a business? Should I not start a business? It's, there's organizations like Y Combinator that allow you to get funding. They look at those teams, but there's, now going to be these AI assistants to help you either get started with like incorporating your company, giving you, Q&A questions about that. There's going to be assistants allowing you to get your revenue. Others like legal AI assistants are going to help you with your business. So a lot of this stuff is coming out so fast. You're going to see a lot of changes in the way that people run their business. And even in the legal space, you're going to see changes there where, lawyers do a lot for you, but you're going to be surprised at what these AI assistants are going to be able to do for you like going forward. And an example of that is probably, I'll give you an example, NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. It's, you meet someone and you agree that you're not going to disclose this information that you learn. AI assistants may be able to draft those documents within like fractions of a second. If you say, hey, there's someone coming by my office and I'm working on this new thing and I don't want to tell anyone about it yet, but this person wants to come in or we might do business together. This legal bot will literally draft a document for you, hand it to you and say, okay, this is basically ready to sign. Again, you're going to need probably your lawyer to do a quick read through of it, but it's going to save you enormous amounts of time not having the lawyer draft it specifically for you. And that applies to, what we're doing. So we're going to save teams a lot of time by helping them close deals, sign contracts, and get the revenue in the door by helping you with that AI assistant.